How's everybody doing? Welcome back. So yesterday we discussed the importance of not giving up, never giving up hope, and how Rabbi Nachman's teachings are truly focused on that idea of that a person, no matter how far that they've fallen, they should realize is that there's always hope, is that Hashem is always there for them, even in the darkest of places. And not only that, but Rabbi Nachman himself went to great lengths, and even at his own detriment, to try to help others. And therefore learning more and more about how to integrate those teachings into our lives and ultimately be transformed by them and live a life of happiness, of joy, of tranquility. So we're moving on to the next part. We're still in the Hakdama. If you have Meshivat Nafesh, that'd be great. If not, maybe we can put up a link. I think there's several sources online that have it. V'hinei biyoter me'al kol talmidav hakdoshim tamach yado al talmido hakadosh harav atzadik Rabbi Natan zichar tzadik levracha. So out of all of Rabbi Nachman's students, the one who really got the biggest influx of his spiritual energy, if you will, was Rav Nassan, Rabbi Natan, who put together the book Bal HaMechaber Sifrei Likutei Halachot HaKadoshim. He put together the book Likutei Halachot, which gives a lot of meaning behind the halachot, behind the laws, Jewish laws, V'sifrei Likutei Tefillot. And he also put together a book called Likutei Tefillot, which was a book that was guided prayers and meditations. One of the big inyanim, one of the big topics that Rabbi Nachman speaks about is personal prayer. Is speaking to Hashem in our own words, not just when it comes to tefillah b'tzibor, which is obviously an obligation, incredibly important, incredibly uplifting, but in addition to that, a person should pray from their own hearts. Really, the well springs of our hearts, just open them up to Hashem. However, sometimes, especially in the beginning, it feels awkward. You feel like you're kind of just shooting it out into the wind and, you don't hear anything back. Obviously we do, just we have to understand how to tune into Hashem's frequency. But Rav Nassan put together this book called Likutei Tefillot, and it's kind of like a jump off. A person's able to start going through these prayers, opening their hearts. Hashem, how are you today? Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Thank you for my breathing. Thank you for my sight. Thank you for another beautiful day. The sun is shining. Thank you for my wife and my children. My wife wasn't feeling so great last night, but Baruch Hashem, she's feeling so much better. That type of thing. But he wrote a book on prayer in order to give us as a jump off, that we can open up our own hearts. V'natan mehodo alav v'samach et yado alav lachnis dato akdosha b'chol minei diburim hamshivim et hanefesh b'chol hanoflim v'hayordim. Excuse me, sorry. So Rabbi Nachman ultimately influenced Rav Nassan, Rabbi Natan, in such a way that literally everything that Rabbi Nachman said, Rabbi Natan was able to kind of bring forth in a very clear and understandable way. And he kind of like digested the words of Rabbi Nachman and brought it down for us common folk. And especially the way in order to influence and inspire others. Shechazku atzmam v'lo yityashu b'shum ofen. He was able to do this in a way that can inspire others that they shouldn't give up hope on themselves. V'hinei ata be'ikva de Mashiach. And now, during the times of the footsteps of Mashiach, be'ed hitpashtut hachoshech hanora ma'od, kaful umchupal. So especially at this time of the footsteps before Mashiach, when the world is there's just complete darkness, this awful darkness that's spread throughout the world, and it keeps on getting doubled and doubled. That the world it seems like tohu vavohu, it seems like complete chaos. V'choshech v'chulei mamash. We literally live in this time that it seems like the world is completely upside down. Asher gam nevi'enu harishonim zichronam levacha. That the earliest prophets also saw this. Ra'u kein tamahu eich yuchlu b'nei Yisrael hakdoshim lehitchazek b'yirat Hashem b'toch hachashchut hazeh. So the prophets, the early prophets, looked at our time, way into the future, where we're living in now, and they said, how are they going to be able to deal with this? How is Am Yisrael going to be able to deal with such darkness? U'baruch Hashem asher hikdim refuah l'makatenu. But thank God, Hashem sent the refuah, He sent the healing balm before the affliction. V'shalach lanu Moshiach, v'rav nachal novea mekor chokhmah. And He sent this very, very important person in these very, very important teachings, which is a flowing stream, the source of wisdom. Hu Adoninu Marinu v'Rabbeinu HaKadosh Zecher Tzadik Levarcha Asher Hu v'Talmidav HaKadoshim Hodiu Lanu Rov Rachamav v'Chasadav Ad Ein Cheker. So Hashem sent us a Rabbi Nachman in order for him to inspire us, him and his students, that they should let us know and inform us about Hashem's rachamim, His mercy and His chesed that knows no bounds. Ach divrehem hakdoshim behitchazkutam ha'atzuma mefuzarim badrushim hakdoshim b'sefrei likutei Moharan v'sefrei likutei halachot. However, all of these inspiring thoughts and all of these inspiring lessons were spread out in all these different areas in Likutei Moharan, Rabbi Nachman's quintessential work, and Likutei Halachot from Rabbi Natan. And it was very difficult for a person to find this advice when he needed it. He had to go through the whole entire Likutei Moharan, Likutei Halachot, just in order to find, that little bit that he needed. Lazot liket v'kibetz Moreno harav atzadik Rabbi Natan zecher tzadik levracha sefer hakadosh likutei etzot ba'otiyot v'inyanim v'yuchal hama'ayin limso sham gam devrei hitchazkuto hagadol hanovim misvarav hakdoshim. So that's why Rabbi Natan went back and he said, you know what, I'm going to put together a book just on the advice and the inspirational teachings from Rabbi Nachman that was cultivated from Likutei Moharan and Likutei Halachot, and he put together a book called Likutei Eitzot, a collection of advice that was divided into a very clear, based off of letters and topics, that a person is able to find what needs to strengthen, what they need to be strengthened. V'acharav kam harav hakadosh micharen zicher tzadik levracha. After this, the very holy Rav from Charan, what he did was v'liked v'kibetz hasefer likutei etzot chadash beotiyot v'inyanim kol ha'etzot hakadoshot hamefuzarim b'sefrei likutei halachot hakadoshim. So what he did was he put together this new version of Likutei Eitzot that had everything in Likutei Halachot. ויוכל המעיין למצוא שם גם דברי התחזקות הנובעים בספרי ליקוטי הלכות הקדושים. And therefore, in Likutei Halachot, you're able to see it. So we see that Rabbi Natan put together Likutei Eitzot from Likutei Moharan and Likutei Halachot, and this Rav from Charan put together a new version of Likutei Eitzot based off of Likutei Halachot. So it's basically all these Farim had tremendous lessons in them, but the most important ones that we need to hear, instead of going through the very sometimes terse pill pool and discussions, it's kind of getting straight to the point, so they put together Likutei Eitzot. So what's this Meshivat Nafesh? Why aren't we learning Likutei Eitzot? L'chaim. It's coffee. V'ra'u ra'inu. And we saw the people who wrote this. And now we're in such a dark time, and in the footsteps of Mashiach, that there's a lot of Jews who want to come close to Hashem. However, it seems like they're completely lost, and they're like, I don't know how to access these sefarim. I don't know how to do this. Lazot nit'orarnu. L'kabetz el makom echad divrei hitchazkut shenidpesu b'sifrei lukutei etzot hakdoshim ma'adura kama vatra. And therefore, we found it was necessary to bring to light a collection of these teachings, of these inspirational teachings that were printed in Likutei Eitzot, in the holy Likutei Eitzot, into a new version, a part 1 and a part 2. Uvesefer hakadosh Likutei Eitzot chadash, ladpisam b'kuntres hakatan hazeh lam'an yuchal kol ish la'ashiv nafsho hashokekal l'dvir Hashem. So they put together a smaller version that wasn't so overwhelming, that a person can kind of very quickly go through and be inspired by. And they named it V'karan M'Shem HaKuntrish Hazeh Meshivat Nafesh. They named it Meshivat Nafesh, returning to one's soul. Ki chulahu imrot Hashem amarot taharot mezukakot shivatayim lachayot lashiv kol haneshamot hanefulot bevchina shiva meshivet ha'am. And they call them Meshivat Nafesh because there's all these wonderful teachings of Hashem, these pure words that can really enliven a person and return their souls, if you will, that have fallen to such a low level, back to Hashem. Until they reach the level that's called Sheva Yipol Tzadik V'Kam. And that means a righteous person falls 7 times and gets back up. In this world, you're going to fall. If you live your life thinking that nothing's ever going to happen to you and no difficulty is going to befall you, you're going to be living wrecked with anxiety and depression, and you're just going to wait like, you know what, nothing can happen to me, and therefore, oh my gosh, if something has happened to me, my life is over. However, if you come from the perspective of, you know what, there's ups and downs, but I'm going to learn how to navigate the ups and downs, well then guess what? That is what a tzaddik is. A tzaddik is a person, not somebody who never falls, not somebody who never makes a mistake, but a tzaddik is somebody who does make mistakes, and they do fall, either because of their own faults or an external situation, but the main part is vakam, and they get up. That's how you become a righteous person. You continue to get up. Kamuvan mizeh b'ma'amar tiku emuna likutei moharan chelik bet simon hey. And this is brought in Likutei Moharan, the second part, the 5th section. V'chein nizke l'kaimam be'emet ad shenizke l'shuv b'tshuva shlema. And therefore, you should merit to fulfill these in truth, that we can return to Hashem completely, v'lashuv la'artzenu, and come back to our land, Eretz Yisrael. B'viyat Mashiachenu b'mhera v'yameinu amen. With the coming of Mashiach, b'mhera v'yameinu amen. Now, some of us, Bezrat Hashem, will be zocha to meet Mashiach at the airport, welcoming him home. Others will be on the flight with him, or maybe he's here, and you'll have to kind of wait in line. But Bezrat Hashem will all get here at the end of the day. So that's the end of the Hakdama, that's the end of the introduction. And we see that the whole entire purpose of this book, Meshivat Nafesh, is in order to inspire those who have fallen. And guess what? It's not a chiddush. Every single one of us out there have some good days and have some not such good days. So, number one, if you're in a point where you're in a not such good day right now, it's very important to listen to these teachings of inspiration. You're going to be able to see the world in a very different way. A paradigm shift. You can look at the same exact situation, and instead of looking at it as a terrible situation, you'll be able to see the positivity within it. And also for people who maybe you're in a good day, well, guess what? If you learn these teachings now, then God forbid, but the times when the difficulties come, you'll be able to navigate them much more easily, much more smoothly. See you tomorrow. L'chaim, l'chaim.